Nice. We are live in all of the places. Quick audio check, Mitch. You
Check 1 2 1 2.
okay? Cool. Got you, Eric.
Hey, hey,
All right, cool. Got you.
there's an echo though.
Yeah, I just had it for a second. It'll go away. I just needed to hear you on both. Um, Sweet. I think we're good then. Get these announcements out. All right. Discord announcements are out. We are live in all the places. Good. We lost Eric.
Yep, Eric just Houdini'd.
It's gonna be fun for the editor. On video. Yeah, I don't have you on Zoom. All right. I think we got everything sorted.
And
There
he's
we go.
back.
All right, welcome everybody. It is August 13th. Summer is almost over, officially.
Ha, man, I'm
Summer's out.
definitely immune to those thoughts living in Florida. I guess all I
Yeah.
thought more so it's the blistering, ridiculous heat and humidity is going to break in like a month or two.
No, now I've got to get ready to hunker down and barely be able to leave the house.
Good old winter.
Yep.
Yeah, I was actually on a call Sunday night with a buddy of mine. He does some live stream. It's more like a political slash just kind of like general talk. And his one of his co-hosts is in Chicago, and they were talking about all going to visit him. And I'm like, I'm down for a Chicago trip as long as it's like by the end of September. Otherwise, we'll wait until next year.
Yeah, you definitely want to.
Yeah,
I mean, I'd say you're probably good into October, but
yeah,
after October, it's pretty rough.
yeah. I've been in like I think late September, early October, and it was nice fall weather.
Yeah.
And Chicago's a good time, but definitely not in the winter.
It's different, that's for sure. Different than Florida.
I
Different
mean,
than
as long as crypto
Mexico.
summer is over, I don't mind the weather at all.
It's been
Crypto summer
a rough summer for crypto.
feels like crypto winter.
Yeah, maybe it's opposite. So when it's
I
actual
mean,
winter, maybe crypto will be summer.
we can, obviously we can jump into general crypto talk later, I guess. But yeah, this has been an interesting past year with a quote unquote bull market, but was it really a bull market? So
Yeah. Still waiting on that bull market. Stakeen said, really strange to start on time. Who are you and what have you done to Cal? That that is
well,
that is
just
a backhanded compliment, but
just so
we
you
tried.
know, he actually texted me about starting early and
And
we
then I
started
started on
like
time.
and then we start well no, we still even started like 5 minutes late. So
Yeah, it
that
happens
that's what happened. The goal is to start early, hence being almost on time. So
almost
there's
on
a
time.
little too
Yeah,
funny.
can never be fully on time.
No, I mean, okay, so my point was that usually, I mean, this translates a little bit more with the stock market and all the activity from hedge funds and all of that. That during summer they just go to their beach houses or their summer houses or whatever, and then the market is kind of bleeding and chopping all day because there's no liquidity out there, and then crypto suffers because of pretty much the same concept. So. Yeah, I mean, one could think that crypto summer means like everything blossoming and joy everywhere, but in reality, it's like there's nobody cares during the summer. So I just want it to be over so that people come back to their houses and to their computers, be glued to the charts and decide to pump us to the next level. So
Yeah. It's funny. I wonder, if that effect is dwindling because, 15 years ago when I was day trading full time, that was obviously a thing that was talked about. And it was kind of true, especially like, being connected to New York, where, yeah, like during the summertime, like all the rich money would be out east in the Hamptons and like, everything would be slower and deader and there'd be less liquidity. Um, Now that we're in this, environment of it's so easy to be connected 24/7, you can essentially do, almost what you did like on the floor of the stock exchange remotely. Um, and the fact that there's so much more retail involved now, considering how easy it is for just about anybody to, get involved in stocks. Um, I'm sure that um, it's still a thing, but I just wonder to what extent, compared to like the good old days where it was like really like kind of cut and dry and pretty evident, when basically, everyone went out of town.
yeah, I do know that you lived in the New York area. Compared to Florida, that like the difference must be. The problem with being in Mexico, it's so hot during the summer that you're falling asleep if you don't have an AC. So I also cannot wait for real summer to end because con being able to concentrate and being able to focus and do things is so much easier when I think the perfect weather to get stuff done in Celsius is like 21, 20 degrees or something like that. I have no idea what that is in burger measurements, but
I call it the universal way to I say it is San Diego weather. Like literally San Diego year round. It's like, mid low 70s Fahrenheit. Um, you know, maybe summer it's, 80s or whatever, but it's like literally the best overall weather year round, at least anywhere in the United States. But yeah, I'm from New York. I spent the first 26 years of my life in New York until I came down to hot ass Florida. And yeah, down here, like AC is big business. Your AC goes out, it's exactly what Eric was talking about. You can't even function, you can't think, you can't sleep. Like you're just sweating and just irritable. So, and I've had uh I've had my AC go out. I've had friends, AC go out, and the move is you go over your friend's house. Yeah, people in Florida not sucking it up at all. It's like, in fact, I had a friend's AC just break like a week ago, and sure enough, they went to their friend's house to crash that night because it was just like gonna get no sleep because especially peak summer when it's like 93 and humid.
Samuel said, Mexico has crazy weather, but you should try African weather. You'll feel the difference.
Oh, I'm not even messing with that weather.
Um, Sarah asked a good question. Let's dive into the updates. And Vic Van, if X is not working well, then I would recommend the YouTube stream. I think that tends to be a little bit more usable and stable. X is kind of not. Which, speaking of, I don't know if you guys saw that Trump interview yesterday, but there were like over 1 million people live in the space. It kept crashing at the beginning, and then eventually it got stable. And apparently there's been over 1 billion views of it, which is absolutely insane. I also saw that X and this is relevant for us. So I saw that X is #1 for the news apps right now on the App Store, and #2 for like all, overall category. So, it obviously shows that there's an appetite for an app like X, in the broader public. And I think that's overall, generally positive for us, being that we're kind of in a similar space. It's not like we're knocking on a door where nobody wants to be there. There's definitely an appetite for a platform like X, and I do believe that there's an appetite for a platform like us, which is, similar features to X, but obviously being on chain and allowing people to earn rewards. And speaking of rewards, Sarah asked a good question that I was going to get into, kind of kick us off with, if I can find it. She said, would love to know more about this new dashboard for premium users. So we just released an update to the dashboard. It's got some of the new features that are specific for premium users. So as you guys know, there's a basic dashboard that everybody gets, and then there's an advanced dashboard that's for premium users only. So we're kind of slowly rolling this stuff out. And the reason why, is because we need to test a lot of these different APIs that we've been building. So this stuff is these are pretty complex calculations that are pulling data directly from the Hive blockchain. So it requires a lot of testing, and we need to see it kind of working in public in order to really understand, the actual data and make sure that it's all accurate. So we just released one where if you go to your dashboard now, and your premium, you'll see this next to your author rewards. You'll actually see that it says how much you've earned in terms of Hive Power and HBD since going premium. So the way it calculates that is it looks on the blockchain for the last time you submitted a payment to the Leo Pool account, and then it takes all the rewards since that timestamp to present, and then that's the amount that you've earned since going premium. So for example, with mine, it says I've earned 1,500 Hive Power and 324 HBD since going premium. I'm on a yearly premium subscription, and I think I subscribed to that about 2 months ago or so. So this is basically showing me, how much I've earned since that premium, started. So if you're on a monthly premium subscription, it'll show you basically how much you're earning each month, since it's taken that last payment that you did. So if you're on yearly, that number will kind of just keep stacking up, because obviously you're paying for it less frequently. So you can kind of use that as your guide. You can say, okay, well, I paid 100 HBD for premium 3 months ago, and since then I've earned 1,000 Hive Power and 200 HBD. So I think this is this is something I've wanted to do for a long time. I've talked to Eric a lot about it, because we basically have this spreadsheet, this internal spreadsheet that we use when we do curation for premium users using Leo.voter. Doing that allows us to essentially make sure that premium users are, making it, premium pays for itself. That's kind of been the motto. One kind of key update with this is that it allows the end user to see, not only to trust, that premium actually pays for itself, but to actually see it, in real time on their own dashboard. So I think that that's a really cool feature. I think it kind of adds to the whole, premium value proposition. I'm posting a screenshot of what this looks like in the Threadcast right now. So like I said, I mean, we're testing this data in a live environment. We're going to be continuing to kind of tweak it and make sure it's accurate and whatnot. But you definitely can check it out for yourself and then verify it, looking at your, the rewards that you've claimed in your account since the last time you paid for premium to @LeoPool. If you see any inaccuracies, then let me know with a feedback hashtag. And yeah, so that, just to recap, because I know we've talked about it a lot, but it does tend to confuse people. The way we do curation for premium users is we curate all content that's posted on INLEO.io. So if it's posted natively from the interface, then it's eligible for curation. But if you are premium, then we essentially just increase the voting power we use. And we also track, like I said, with our own internal spreadsheet, we also track the various premium subscribers and make sure that, votes are getting spread, to those subscribers. So there is that key aspect of like, you have to have quality content. So if you're not making quality blog posts or active on threads, because we do also curate threads, then you shouldn't expect that just because you're premium, you're going to get votes. So like in theory, let's say someone spun up an alt account, subscribed to premium, and then just started, shit posting a bunch of random stuff that had no actual quality to the blog posts. That doesn't mean we're going to be just guaranteeing votes. And then it's always funny when people come in, there's, a handful of people that will just drop in the Discord once a month and say, why haven't I gotten a vote from Leo.voter lately? And, we've described so many different times, how that curation works. So you're either not posting enough quality content from the UI, or, maybe you're not premium, so you get a little bit less votes. But at the end of the day, everyone kind of gets the same, initial curation parameter of like, are you making quality content? And then after that, we decide how big of a voting percentage to give you. So that's really the key there. But the dashboard is meant to kind of incentivize people and show you guys exactly how much you're earning since going premium. So like, using my account as the example, and I verified this, looking at my, rewards that I've claimed. And the team actually doesn't really curate my content using Leo.voter. So this is kind of just naturally, I guess, what I get from the, auto voters that I've built up over the years that vote my content. But since going premium, I've earned 1,500 Hive Power and 324 HBD. So premium, obviously, for a year costs 100 HBD. Like I said, I think I subscribed to the yearly option maybe 2 months ago or so. And so I've made basically 6 times as much as it cost for that yearly subscription in rewards. So pretty solid on that front.
I was looking at it on my account, pretty freaking cool, actually, to see. And obviously, a lot of people are curious to see if their earnings, so to speak, is outpacing what they're paying for premium, which is great, but obviously it's not the only reason to have premium. A lot of useful tools and features, but I was just like somewhat smirking because I was thinking about Eder, Twitter/X, we'll call it Eder, and INLEO, and people kind of asking about LeoVoter and getting curated or whatever, and it's just ironic because people are posting on X, and there's never that thought of like, oh, like I'm posting, and how do I get hit with the X voter, and get curated, and as opposed to here where a lot of people are posting because it's just like, oh, well, let me put up good content and hopefully I can get some votes from LeoVoter. It's just funny how the perspective is completely different on 2 different platforms, just because earnings on X isn't really a thing, so to speak, as opposed to in Leo where you have that perk, and that's essentially what it is, right? It's a perk. I always look at it as, if you're posting on Twitter, why not post the same way on INLEO?
Yeah, it's something I've always said is like the least you could do, in my opinion, would be to post on both. So, copy paste your X content and then post it on INLEO as well. I think that's like the minimum thing that you could do. And doing so, kind of guarantees that you earn something for your content. Because, 99% of people on X are earning absolutely nothing. So, INLEO is a unique platform where you can come in with no audience and literally start earning rewards off the bat. And, we're not saying that you're going to make $1 million, but, you can come in and start earning something, which is better than nothing, which is what you're getting on X. And then, by the way, in addition to all of that, you have all your content now being put on a blockchain. and being immutably stored, and it can't be taken away from you. So you're building, as Taskmaster would love to say, you're building a business on the blockchain around your account, and it's a business that nobody can take away from you because it's on the blockchain. So it's pretty wild that more people haven't caught on to the idea that you can just literally cross post everything at the very least. And while you're building audience on X, you can build it on INLEO as well. I think with the new referral program, and that can kind of lead us into that. Excuse me. I think with the new referral program, we're going to start to see a lot more people migrating, their audience from X. You can imagine that like we've been trying to work with, Eric and I have really been trying to work with influencers for a long time. And we've done it, in various forms over the last kind of year or so. But I think with the referral system in place, we now have that built-in virality that we've been waiting for, where an influencer who has 100 audience members or 1,000 audience members can now join INLEO, and like I said, they could just start cross-posting their stuff, earning some extra dollars on the side. But if they end up actually referring in some of their audience, like let's just say that someone's got 1,000 fans on X, which is actually would make them a really tiny influencer, but obviously compared to our scale, that's a big deal. But let's just say they've got 1,000, kind of loyal fans. And then they start sharing the referral link, and 100 of those fans end up joining INLEO. That creator is going to earn up to $50 per referral. So it kind of depends on how active those referrals are, depends on the retention rate, and all of those different mechanics. And you can check the referral dashboard to see exactly how that payment is broken down. But 100 people joining at $50 a pop is $5,000 potentially for that creator. And I can guarantee you that a creator with 1,000 fans probably has never earned $5,000 from that audience. So it's a really impactful way for someone to start getting paid for their audience, no matter what size they are.
So to dig down a level deeper, and I'm pretty sure I know the answer to this, but just to get it out to the community. Obviously, referrals are essentially for new accounts because, think about this. There's a lot of existing Hive users that, aren't aware of INLEO or don't use INLEO, right? So in theory, that person already has a Leo account because they have a Hive account. So if someone brings them to INLEO in terms of they start, posting threads and whatnot, in theory, that's not really a referral because they already have an existing Leo account technically.
Yeah, if you already have an existing account, you can't get the referral reward. So
I'm just
this
saying
is for new users.
I saw like a post from the threads are moving fast. I got to scroll back down. Like I saw a post from Sergeant Dan that said, I'm one of the admins for the SBT community and would love our community to have a presence on this innovative Hive interface for both long form posts and short form. So I'm like, well, that's cool because that's a community of users that, are on Hive that might not be using INLEO right now, which I know obviously there's a communities thing on INLEO. So that's probably a value add for that community and just communities in general. But it just had me thinking about that in regards to like the referral thing.
Yeah, no, I mean, if you're already on Hive, your incentive is that by being on INLEO, you're gonna actually earn a lot more rewards. This is something that
Earn those
Eric and I
Leo
have been
tokens too.
starting to spread. Yeah, I mean, between the fact that we have 5 million Hive power on our community curation account, and like I said, it upvotes all the content, or at least it curates all the content posted from INLEO.io. So you've already got that, so an increase in potential Hive rewards. But then you've also got the fact that Leo can only be earned if you're using our interface. So that was kind of a big change that we made when we rebranded from Leo Finance to INLEO, is that now to earn Leo, you actually just have to use the interface. There's nothing related to tags or the category of your content. It's just related to using the platform. So, already by default, using INLEO is more profitable as an end user, as a Hive user, than any other interface. Because there is no other mainstream Hive interface that has its own token. So Leo is obviously next to Splinterland's the most valuable token on the Hive blockchain. And the only way to get it is to use the platform. So, that's been a really good kind of value loop that we've built, around tokenizing the attention on the platform. So the
Yeah,
incentive for Hive users is you can earn Leo, which you can't do anywhere else.
Well, and 100%, Mike. And if you're already doing stuff on Hive, right, you're literally like not being efficient, so to speak, because you will get Leo tokens, as you were basically just saying, by essentially doing exactly what you're doing, just also doing it on INLEO. And then I know Eric, obviously, you handle a lot of stuff with communities and whatnot. So what are some like just bullet points on, why communities should come onto INLEO and kind of what like the value add is?
yeah. So basically, what I've been messaging people a lot, and the responses have been positive, but also they want to know more before actually just jumping into the idea. Why? Because the space, you know, we are 2.5. Well, one could say we're already in a bull market, but for most people who are 100% on alts and not on Bitcoin, they are still on a bear market. And the reality is that people like all of the people who earned or profited in March, they already gave all of their profits back to the market or are even lower than that right now. So the trends with SocialFi and with all of these meme coins and everything else, people are more worried. People are more worried about, oh, will this be legit or not? The airdrops, the past 2 years of airdrops have all been a real disappointment. In fact, the one that went out yesterday, I can't remember the name. I can't remember. Like people were farming for months and they are just getting airdropped $150, and the team is getting all of their tokens unlocked and the people are getting them vested. So my point with all of this prelude is that people are more worried about, oh, maybe you're telling me this, but it's not real, or so the first approach that I'm taking is, okay, so this is not going to be life-changing money. This is not, I am not promising you that this is going to change your crypto life, but what I'm promising is that it will give you an additional profit or an additional bag of a token that the team is working 24/7 to make it explode. So that's kind of um the 100% honest approach with people. So the first thing is that we're not promising them the moon and the sun and the stars, but we're also making it clear that they can definitely add to their bags. And people are interested in it. A lot of people are asking me for more information. In fact, I have had calls with probably five people in the past week, and they'll want to learn more. Not a lot of them want to take that next step because they are like, oh, maybe this is not for me. Maybe my time is not worth it, whatever. But the thing is, people are actually getting interested to actually learn more about it. So we're in a good way. We're on a good road. We just need to keep pushing.
Yeah, I think the referral system is where the scale is really going to come into play. It's something that's kind of an immediate, what you really need in this day and age. It's an immediate dopamine hit, where you onboard someone through your referral code, they instantly show up on your dashboard, and then as they get more active, as they're posting threads and blog posts, you immediately start to see the amount of rewards you earn actually increase. If you look at the referral dashboard and it's live, for anyone that wants to check it out. I know in the last AMA we were just talking about how we were working on it, aiming to bring it last week, and then we ended up delivering it, I think, by Friday. But if you look at the dashboard, you'll actually see that we modeled it after centralized exchanges for crypto. So the entire dashboard itself and the whole system and the way it works is actually very similar to how centralized exchanges built their referral systems. And one thing I was kind of studying up on when we built this was, how did centralized exchanges actually grow? How did these various platforms become so big? You know, how did Binance and MEXC and you know, Poloniex and all these different exchanges that have kind of come and gone, you know, over the years in crypto, what was their initial way of onboarding new users and getting people in? You know, and a big piece of it was their referral system. So they, you know, obviously had a way where, you know, you share your referral code, that person signs up, and then you get a percentage of their trading fees in perpetuity. So I wanted to build something that was very similar to that, and had a really, you know, deeply entrenched incentive to not only sign up a new account, but then to help that account get active. Like, you know, if you were onboarding someone to a centralized exchange using your referral code, if they just sign up, you actually earn nothing. Ours is a little different. If you just get a sign up, you get 10 Leo off the bat, which obviously, you know, isn't a ton, but it's just a little bit to kind of get it kickstarted. The majority of the earnings that you can have as, you know, using your referral code are actually as that person becomes active on the platform. So the more active they become, the more you earn from that referral. And you know, a big reason behind all of that is, you know, getting people retained on the platform, getting them active and keeping them active for a long period of time. And if you're wondering about the sustainability of it, you know, one thing I was kind of really focused on when it came to sustainability was making sure that the value, you know, kind of the value loop behind the referral system ensured that if a user gets the full $50 payout, you know, basically a near equivalent amount of value is being paid back to the Leo token economy. The way we pull that off is 600 of the total Leo that you can earn from onboarding someone, and I'd have to add up all the rest just to know, but I'll tell you in a second. 600 of the total Leo potential that you can earn is actually from premium. So if the person you referred in goes premium, then you unlock kind of that last tier of rewards. But if they never go premium, you know, there's only so much Leo you can actually earn. And you know, it's still a significant amount of Leo, but I think it's more than half is pretty much gate kept behind premium. So it actually ensures that the Leo economy gets paid, since 100% of the premium revenue actually buys Leo. So it ensures that the Leo economy gets paid, you know, if someone else earns the full capacity of a referral. So I think that that's kind of a critical, you know, piece to the sustainability of a good referral program.
Yeah, I am actually when I saw this first model, I was pretty happy because I already have like $14 worth of rewards from my referrals, and that was just because I used, like, in all of the campaigns everywhere, I was just asking people for their referral code so that I could use someone from the community referral code so they would get some rewards. And I never used mine. So I only have 2 people that I referred, but one of them is still a lion, and they're still going hardcore at it. So that person alone has gotten me $14. So it was pretty nice.
Yeah, I'm really curious to see, like, when you know, someone comes out and becomes like a high performing referral, you know, referrer to the platform. You know, I'm really curious to see someone that's got like 1,000 referrals and, you know, thousands of dollars rolling in from all of them.
Well, the whole real estate crowd already has 5 accounts from 2 or 3 years ago. So
You
I'm gonna have
gotta
to find
tell
a
them to
new
make new accounts, I guess.
I'm gonna have to find a new crowd now. Now I gotta find fresh people.
Well, that's the
Problem
whole
is,
point,
I mean,
right? I mean, the number one killer of, you know, any platform, especially in crypto, whether you're INLEO, Hive, or really any crypto platform out there, is a lack of fresh blood. Like, you need
yep.
growth in terms of the user base. Otherwise, you're just slowly dying. So, you know, the value of each new user is actually extremely high. It's worth way more than $50. The value of each new hardcore monthly active user, which, again, to get the full $50, they really do need to become like a full-time user. Otherwise, you'll get something less than $50. You know, you're not going to get the
Yeah.
full impact of
Yeah,
it.
I mean, it makes 100% sense, and it's good it's set up that way. I mean, obviously, I'm joking in regards to the referral thing because I'm still like kind of playing devil advocate on the other side of it, where it's just like, well, the referral system's great, love it, think it's a great idea, but I continually think about, well, how did sites like Twitter, Facebook, and so on and so Reddit, so on and so forth, get these user like offering no referrals, no nothing. It's like, because again, people are joining that not to make money. They're joining it. I don't even know why, because they want to be a part of something, because they want to talk about something, because they want to argue over something, like whatever it is. Like I'd love to see those users coming on to INLEO as well, where it's just like there's enough activity where people are coming here, because it's like, oh, there's, whatever, awesome, crypto conversations, on threads, as opposed to, going to, Twitter, where obviously there's tons of, crypto content and people posting stuff, whether it's them shilling things or whether it's them doing their research and just wanting to build a following or whatever. um you know I think it's important that people come on with that mindset, as well. I think those are the what end up being the more active users, right? So, and maybe communities is a piece that is going to help drive that potentially. I don't know, but so I think it's really good that essentially we have both avenues, so to speak, opened up. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, and Taskmaster keeps it seems people have angered him by talking only about rewards. Rewards will always
Well,
be a
yeah,
critical piece of the crypto economy. It's undeniable. You have to build in the other layers of features, but you ultimately you can never deny the fact that people will always be drawn to the idea of rewards. And it did actually work really well in the early days of Steam. Steam was once a top 5 crypto. Um, it did really work well in the early days. The piece that was missing was the features. There simply weren't enough features to keep people around. But the idea of rewards, even just the idea, not even the actual earning of rewards, is what initially drew a lot of people to Steam it way back in the day. And that I mean, honestly, if we're all being honest with each other, what drew us into this ecosystem, whether it was the legacy blockchain or if you've joined more recently, ultimately what drew us all in was the idea of earning something for our blog posts. But what didn't keep, what essentially, lost a lot of retention was that people didn't have the vision to see that one day the platform could be more than just blogging, creating long form content and commenting all over the place. Um, that vision was really hard to grasp. And I think that that's why most people left. And now you have a small kind of skeleton crew that's left on this blockchain. And these are the people that have always had the vision that there could be more that could be done on this blockchain, whether it was SMTs or whatever. And over time, we've gotten a lot more features. We've gotten a lot more things that you can do on this blockchain, especially when you compare it to those days. So in my opinion, using rewards, using a shiny object, that's really what marketing is all about. I mean, at the end of the day, you look at any advertisement of any kind, and it's really just trying to, convince people that they should try something. And especially when you're trying to convince people about something complex, you need something really shiny in order to convince them to even give it a fair shot. So, I'm pretty intensely focused on how can we just get people to try us, because I think a good percentage of them will stay, knowing that we are releasing features at a really kind of incredible pace. I mean, even X isn't releasing features as fast as we are. So, we're releasing features at a really incredible pace. Just in the last month, I mean, we've released shorts, long form videos, the referral program, the dashboard, the new leaderboard. Our pace of innovation has never been faster than it is now. So I think, between having, an engaging platform, kind of the shiny rewards to convince them to even try it, and then constantly releasing new innovative features that are fun to use and get people more involved. I think that that's kind of the key to growth. At the end of the day, everybody just wants to be involved and feel like they matter. And I think that INLEO is unique, on the Hive blockchain and broader, just in the internet space in general, in that you guys have a lot of voice in what happens. So, Task always talks about having an ownership mindset, and if you own Leo, you should have, that ownership mindset. And that's really one of the keys to our platform, is that you guys really are owners, and when you give feedback, we listen to it and we change, and we adapt and we build. So I think that that's really, really kind of the key to our platform's success. I've seen a few comments asking if referral rewards are continuous. Yeah, they actually will last the entire lifetime of the account that you onboarded. But essentially each tier of it is a one-time thing. So like, if you onboard someone and they make 1,000 threads, you get, that obviously you get all those, you get 5 Leo for the first thread, 10 Leo after they do 10, 50 Leo after they do 100 threads, and then you get 100 Leo after they do 1,000 threads. If they then do another 1,000 threads, you don't get anything after that. So it's essentially like a one-time earning thing. That being said, there's other tiers. So there's the 1,000 threads. Excuse me. The 1,000 threads, the 100 blog posts, and then the premium. So like, let's say you onboard someone and they complete all the tiers except for premium. Let's say they don't go premium right off the bat, but they do all the threads, all the blog posts, and then you earn all those rewards. But then let's say like a year from now, they suddenly decide, okay, I'm going to try, a 1-year premium subscription. If they end up signing up for that 1-year premium and they pay 100 HPD, then you'll get the 500 Leo a year from now. So there is no expiration to that, but each tier is a one-time thing. So the max you can earn is $50 on a referral, and then obviously it basically is just kind of in perpetuity until you've reached all those tiers and kind of check the box for them.
I I have a question. Will people receive the rewards every month or every X days, or how is it going to work? And will the balance go back to zero? Like for example, let's say that I hit $20 and I received those $20. Do I still get to see that my lifetime rewards it's 20, or will it go down to zero? Because then you have the concept of having, let's say that I onboard 100 people. If I want to keep track of what I've received and what I haven't, and how much have I received, like in a lifetime, etc., like, will there be a way to track that?
Track the lifetime rewards.
No. Like for example, let's say that I onboard you and I onboard Mitch, and then you start getting active very early on. And from you, I get $25, and from Mitch, I get $5. So in the next cycle that I get the rewards, I get 30, right? But
Right.
will those $30 will go down or will go back to being zero once I receive them? Or will like how is it going to
So
work?
you're asking if the dashboard UI will no longer display them after they've been claimed?
Yes, and also how often will they be sent to the person's account?
Yeah, so the dashboard will always show you like the total lifetime earnings. So that amount will never decrease. It's just like, as you've been onboarding people, that's what you've earned over the lifetime of your, referring. And in terms of claiming the rewards, so I've got 2 different models. I'm still working with the devs on which one we're going to do. It's either going to pay out automatically once per month, or we're going to add a claim button where you're actually like, there's going to be a claim button in the referral dashboard, and you'll click claim. And then after you click claim, then you'll get sent the rewards, whatever rewards are pending. And then it would essentially reset to 0 after you've claimed. And then from there, it would then, like, if you start earning rewards again for your referrals, then it'll kind of start stacking up again. Basically how the claim rewards works on the Hive blockchain for blog posts. Like, you earn rewards, then you have to claim them. Once you claim them, obviously your pending rewards go down to 0 until you earn more, and then you claim them again. I'm thinking that the claim is probably what we're going to do. It was originally my idea to do it automatically. But then we ran into some issues with that. So that's why we've kind of been going back to the drawing board on it. So I think claim Claim is most likely how we're going to proceed with it. So we'll have to see how that actually shapes up. But most likely you'll have a claim button when there's pending rewards for referrals. You'll go to your dashboard, and then you'll claim, and then it'll get sent to you.
Okay, makes sense. Yeah, I was just wondering because people might want to keep track of everything and say, "Oh, I have 50 rewards so far, and then I still can claim 50 more," or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, I think claiming is the way to go because it also makes you feel like you're really earning it. You know, sometimes when it's automatic, you kind of overlook it and don't value it the same way.
Yeah, 100%.
I saw a pretty cool statement from Ben Haas. He said, acknowledgement is the biggest motivator if you're not starving. And it's like, that's pretty true, actually.
Yeah.
Because, why are people on like X, for instance? It's just like you just want literally what you're sharing to be acknowledged because that's how we are as human beings. But if you are starving, yeah, you're not really worried about acknowledgement. You're worried about surviving. And it's just like, all right, you know, in Leo, I can potentially earn some coin from, interacting on social media. Sweet. Let me do that and see, what I can do to survive. And um there's nothing wrong with being in that spot. We all play different roles at different times in our lives. Lord knows I've had sections of my life where I've definitely been starving. But yeah, there's something to be said, and there's a dynamic of both. There's people on INLEO that, are motivated to produce more content just because they enjoy acknowledgement of what they're sharing and they enjoy interacting with others. And then there's people that are just literally straight starving and look at this as, a way to be able to interact, but also potentially, earn a little something. So um, maybe one day the acknowledgement crowd will outweigh the starving crowd, but it's an interesting dynamic currently within Leo.
It's an attention economy, that's for sure.
It is certainly an attention economy.
I've Yeah, Vic Van said INLEO referral system is the way to onboard 10,000 miles. Yeah, I think, or is it 10,000 or 100,000? No, you put 10,000. Yeah, 10. I sincerely believe that the referral system is going to be like kind of a cornerstone moment for us. It's kind of like that missing puzzle piece, especially for retention. So I think, the impacts obviously have yet to be seen, but I think it is going to have a pretty profound impact over time. I pulled out a few questions I saw just to not lose them. IDK Samad said, I wonder when we'll get a separate interface or section for Leo Shorts like TikTok, where we can scroll from one short to another without landing into a thread. Yes, so I mentioned this last week, but we're working on the Shorts feed. Just speaking about Shorts in general, we've basically fixed any issues with uploading from our end. So now when they error out, it seems to be happening on the 3Speak end. So, I'm going to reach out to them and talk to them about their APIs because for some reason we keep getting this error returned to us. So basically the short gets posted on 3Speak, and then when we try to grab it from the 3Speak API, it says that doesn't exist. So we're working on that. That's basically the last puzzle piece for the stability of shorts. So right now, when you upload a short, it's kind of like a 50-50 shot that it actually makes it to the threads feed. So we're working on that. And like I mentioned last week, once I'm happy with the stability of uploading shorts, then we're going to release the shorts only feed. So that will be basically a new feed that you can select at the top menu. It'll be next to like the For You latest trending following. There's going to be one called Shorts, and you can select it. And when you select it, it actually looks like TikTok or YouTube Shorts, where the shorts are full screen. And then you swipe up or swipe down or scroll up or scroll down to see the next or previous short. And then like the like button, the upvote button is all on screen, and it's like a whole completely new UI. So it'll be a really nice experience, and then you'll be able to kind of scroll through all the shorts, just on their own. But yeah, Taskmaster Shorts stability is key. Yeah, the uploading right now is not stable. So like I said, I think we've fixed everything on our end that we're capable of fixing. Like there's at this point now, we need to work with the APIs to figure out what to do on that front. We've tried adding a retry mechanism, and that basically hasn't it made it a little bit better, but it's still, no matter how many times it retries, it still runs into some random error at some point. So we're going to keep working on it. And then, once I'm happy with the uploading stability, then we'll release the new UI for Shorts specifically. But I'm pretty excited about it. I think it'll have a really, I keep talking about how it's going to have a really profound impact on, kind of the engagement on the site, because it really just adds a whole new dynamic to how we talk to each other. And that also answers another question from IDK Samad about Shorts not appearing in the feed. Sabrina asks, when we onboard new users, do we get our referral bonus instantly? How about when they fulfill the rest of the tasks? So we kind of answered that, but most likely we're adding a claim button to the dashboard. And then when you hit claim, it will basically it will basically claim the current pending rewards. And then as soon as more rewards are earned, it'll just be available to add. If you're getting an error on the dashboard, just hang tight. We're working on it. So there's two different dashboards: the referral dashboard and the dashboard for like statistics about your account. I'm assuming you're talking about the dashboard for statistics and not the referral dashboard, because I have seen this build error, and we're working on it for the. I actually think it's fixed in labs as of this morning. I'd have to check. So we'll push that to prod sometime soon. Shorts will allow for upvotes, comments, and rethreads, major stimulant for engagement. Yeah, I agree. I mean, just think about how much more engaging it is to, like, conversing over text is like a low bandwidth way of communicating. When you've got a video with audio and visuals, you're delivering so much more information at the same time. So it's really like adding this whole, it's almost like we're 20 years late to the party, but adding a whole other dynamic of visual and audio to a platform that's only ever had text. So it's going to add a lot more, like Vic Van said, it's going to add a lot more vibe to the platform. That's for sure. Ahmad Manga, down the road, we're going to have a big Threadcast update. But right now the focus is on, the current features we just rolled out. These were some big, front end, back end developments we've been working on for a while, especially Shorts. It was a pretty radical, technology that we had to build in terms of the back end and front end. So, we're going to make these things stable. And then from here, we're going to move on to AI. So we're going to get Leo AI rolled out, in beta for all premium users. And then from there, we'll look into the rest. Yeah, Gargi, I've seen about the double posting error. We're working on it.
Responding to threads. I try and find a hybrid of verbally acknowledging and then just written responses
Yeah.
to some threads.
Stakeen said, do you have any tips for how to spread our referral link besides people IRL? It's really just how, it kind of depends on you and the way you use social media and the way you interact with people in real life. I mean, you could literally, if you end up going to like some sort of crypto conference or crypto meetup of some kind, I mean, you could literally have a QR code and tell people to scan it and sign them up and do that. You could also, you could also, build your brand on X and start cross. Like if you're on INLEO, it's almost like the reverse of if you were on X. If you're on INLEO, you could be, building your audience on X and then using your referral link on INLEO to basically monetize your following on X. So I think there's so many different, it's really just kind of choose your own adventure. Like there's so many different things you can do. It's really up to you about how do you want to, you know, best leverage the opportunity to earn rewards.
I crashed for a second. Can you hear me?
And we can hear you. At least I can hear you.
I can't hear you on Spaces.
Yes.
Mm.
Now I'm here. Guys, my computer crashed completely. I'm on the laptop
Fun
right now.
times.
Can I get some questions from the threadcast? Okay, yeah, someone saying Eric even green-walling his seat. Yeah, Taskmaster, focus on this. The activity. I wonder what the community
Yep.
would say if we bring back any kind of wars like the one that we had with the whites, the black, and the brown lions back in what was it, like probably February, maybe March? I don't know. Can't remember. But let us know in the comments if you would like something similar. Right now we have the community wars, which is we have 11, probably 12 next week. We have 11 communities competing against each other to see who is the most active, which one is the most engaging, and I mean, obviously using INLEO, and they are getting some delegation rewards in the process. Those communities who are winning, but also the communities that participate, they get a small delegation from the bat. So two things. If you want to participate with one of them, check out the post from Leo Growth. But also, if you have a community that is active on Hive and has, more than 10 members, active, constant members, then reach out to me so that we can talk about how your community can join these battles. When polls in Threadstorm's Threadcasts. I have no idea. Probably there will be a huge update, like Carl said, and it will include them.
Huh. IDK Samad said Reddit audience will show more interest to join in Leo in case someone wants to get referrals. That's the place where you can get some. Honestly, it's probably actually not a bad idea because I'm sure there's crypto conversation and crypto questions on Reddit, even to the extent of people asking, if there's any platforms that are, blockchain or crypto based, so to speak, that, essentially are doing social media. It's actually not a bad idea.
Yeah, and I do know that Reddit had some sort of, they experimented a little bit with cryptocurrencies or with tokens, with native tokens, etc. It didn't work out, to be honest, but they were already kind of introduced. Like the community was already introduced to the concept, so I don't think it should be too hard to get some people. I don't know how it works because a couple of years ago, when we were just doing some tests to see how we could promote, like before we decided to focus on X, we tried Reddit, we tried a little bit of Instagram, a little bit of Facebook, and X, of course. And when I did, I grew my karma or my points on Reddit to enough so that I could post on any subreddit around. And uh, the referral codes in general are not that welcomed by many communities, because if people leave that community, then that means that the mods will lose kind of power or
Hmm.
some stupid stuff like that. But maybe promoting in Leo by sharing some posts from in Leo to the specific communities. Like if you're posting about gardening, then you could promote or use a post from the from the gardening community on INLEO, and then share that. So that this brings another question, Carl. So will there be any way to share a link from INLEO that also has our referral code?
I think, yeah, I think we will add that. One thing I've been trying to figure out, and that's why I don't know if we're going to do that first or if we're going to do it in the way that so we can do that now, where we can basically add a little tag to the end of your of whatever other link, like let's say you link to a blog post you made, and then we can add the referral tag to it. So that's definitely possible. But what I'm trying to do instead, and obviously if this is possible, then we're going to do it this way, where we actually deliver a cookie to the browser of the person that you sent the link to. This is actually how so if you're familiar at all with how Amazon's affiliate program works, if you share anything related to an Amazon link with anybody, an Amazon referral link, if I think they have like a 30-day period of time where you could literally close the browser down and come back 15 days later and buy something else that isn't even related, and still get the referral or the affiliate commission for that Amazon sale. So that's how Amazon does it. And that's essentially what I've been trying to figure out, if we would be capable of doing something similar where, if you share any link from your browser, like let's say that you're logged into INLEO and you share any link from INLEO with anybody, and they end up signing up within 30 days. So they may look at the link and then come back later, whatever happens, however they go about it. You would get the referral for that. And essentially, if someone else then sent that, so like the only way it would get overridden is like if someone else sent them a link and then they clicked it after they clicked your link and then they signed up after that link, then whoever was the most recent referrer is going to get the referral for that. So
that's actually way more robust than I expected it to be. So that's
call
pretty
to action
cool.
that
yeah. My goal is to get it
all
similar
of
to
these
how the
people
Amazon
might
one
come
works.
from Reddit or from X. If we're sharing a link,
If possible,
link there,
and
so
if
that
not,
they
then
actually create their
we'll
account.
try to get it.
I mean, of course, they will be prompted
where
to
it's a
create
little bit more
their account
simplistic,
if they
but
want to
we're going to
comment.
shoot for the Amazon one.
But if you tell them,
I
hey,
see
earn
Eric
some
talking, but
tokens
I
or
can't hear
earn
him.
some crypto, they might as
I
well
can
just
hear 'em.
create it just to see what it's all
I can't hear
about.
you, Eric.
Eric, can you hear us?
I can't hear you on the space because I'm not using Zoom audio.
Oh yeah, I got the Zoom audio. That's probably why I can hear him. I just don't know if he can hear me.
Taskmaster shared a news threadcast.
Did I miss it? Can you hear me?
I can hear you through Zoom, I think.
Eric, you might have to leave the space and come back.
Technical difficulties. The user-based way also to share your referral code in that instance is if you share a Leo post, in some different platform, right? Like your example, like whatever about let's just like plants and gardening or whatever. In your post, at the end of it, put like, something about INLEO and put your referral link in your post. So, and if you have someone, let's just saying hypothetically coming from Reddit to read your article about gardening, right? You could at the end of that post put, um, your referral link, but obviously some kind of verbiage in terms of like, if you want to be part of the INLEO gardening community, join us here and have your referral link. Or if you want to see, more gardening content from me, join INLEO and have your link. So I would definitely say anytime you share a INLEO post to another platform, within that post, I think it would make sense to put a blurb. And this is obviously, for long form, especially because, you don't have any kind of character limit or anything like that. But I mean, you could probably even squeeze it into threads as well, when it makes sense, right? So just food for thought.
Yeah, we'll definitely we'll definitely work on making the referral codes a little bit more robust. I saw I had a question earlier. Oh,
I would assume
Ahmad Manga
as
asked about Leo ads. And that is going to be snuck in along with Leo AI. So that's going to be right now we're in a current phase with shorts, referrals, the dashboard and the leaderboard. So we're going to be working on refining those in production, kind of probably through the rest of this month. And then we're going to be working on Leo AI and Leo ads. We've already talked about AI pretty extensively, but Taskmaster is going to be doing a Lion's Den this Friday at 1 p.m. Eastern, and he said it was going to be focused on Leo AI. So between now and then, I'm going to drop some screenshots and teasers of Leo AI so that I can give him a little fuel for his fire this Friday. But in terms of Leo ads, I've actually designed an entirely, and I've talked about it a few times in the past, but I've designed an entirely new platform for Leo ads on top of INLEO. So what it is, there's going to be an ads dashboard, an ads manager that looks like, if you're familiar with like Facebook ads or X ads, there's a dashboard for them as an advertiser. And essentially what you can do is you can launch ad campaigns directly from that dashboard. And then it basically walks you through like uploading an image for the ad or a video for the ad if it's a video ad, editing the text for it. And then you set a budget and how many days you want the ad to run for. And then you hit launch campaign. And then it basically goes from there to an approval process. And once the ad is approved, making sure obviously it's not a scam or whatever, the ad needs to get approved. And then once approved, the campaign starts. And then based on the time duration, how many days and your budget, it basically splits up how often your ad gets shown for that ad placement. So that is how our new ad platform is going to work. It's actually completely modeled after these other platforms, and those platforms, by the way, have generated between Google, Facebook, and X, I think it's safe to say, hundreds of billions of dollars in value has been generated from these ad networks that they've built. And we're building a UI that is going to be almost nearly identical to theirs. The reason why, we've chased this and it's something I've talked about for a while is, I've spent countless hours working with companies like Coinzilla and Google AdSense, in the past when we had ad placement from them. They severely underpaid us. Their ads sucked. They visually were not appealing. Their ad codes were not very compatible because our platform is so complex. So they actually slowed down our platform and ultimately made the visuals less appealing. And at the end of the day, they essentially absorb, being the middleman for those networks, they essentially absorb 90% of the value. And then what's left is like we just get like this 10% of the value from the end advertiser. So I really hated working with these ad networks, and that's why I tried literally for years to make it work with them, but we never got to a place where I was actually happy. So I think I forgot, it was maybe 3 to 6 months ago, somewhere in that time frame, I just decided to completely ditch those ad networks. And I decided to wait until we could build our own direct ad sale network. So that's what I just described is direct, B2B ad sales. So, if you run a company, in crypto, I think we're going to be kind of, one of the best places you could go to run an ad. So, the pricing is basically going to be based on demand. So I would say being an early, kind of like Google AdSense, and then obviously Facebook ads, X ads, they all went the same route. They did kind of a bidding system. So, in the early days, it's actually gonna be really cheap to advertise on INLEO because, there's obviously gonna be no demand from the start. And then as demand builds up, that's actually as, the pricing will be dynamic with demand. So I would say if you own a company, like I know, there's a handful of people on Hive that, have companies that could advertise, whether it's Splinterlands, our dark cloaks from Simple Game. There's various businesses on Hive that are kind of naturally, I think, going to gravitate towards this ad platform right when it launches. I think there's going to be a really good arbitrage for them because the ad space will be so cheap off the bat. And then we'll kind of have that as our base. And then from there, we'll obviously be looking to, I'm actually considering, obviously we'll launch it and see how it goes from the beginning, but I'm considering hiring someone onto the team who will literally specifically focus on going out to businesses and, whether they're in the crypto space or otherwise, anyone that has a good fit to our demographics and trying to sell them on the ad space. I think that could be a huge win for us. I think it's pretty, and I wrote it in the GitLab issue, which I haven't pushed live yet. I think I'll probably push this GitLab issue live by the end of this week, so you guys can see the vision and the design and everything, but behind Leo ads and give me your feedback. I sincerely believe that the ad revenue we earn from direct B2B sales is going to be more than 10x our all-time high in terms of monthly earnings from the old ad model that we had. I think it's going to be a literal instant 10x. I kind of described the reasons why, but these ad networks were totally screwing us over and essentially disqualifying the majority of our traffic. So this is going to be a much better model for us.
Nice. Speaking of feedback, I know you said that you needed to wrap up around 1-ish and we're creeping on 20 after. So I don't know if you want to wrap up or what the deal is.
Yeah, I ended up pushing my meeting back to 1:30. So got a couple more minutes here if you want to do a quick wrap up. I think we've got all the questions covered. Ben asked, can we beat ad blockers? Yeah, I think I don't think ad blockers will work to block the ads that we're doing. Reason why is that with our own native platform built in, the ads are actually gonna be like in line with content. So to an ad blocker, it won't be able to determine what's content and what's an ad. Similar to like how X and other platforms have done it. I think that was the last question I saw though. Yeah, I think we're caught up on questions. So yeah, let's wrap up. What do you guys think? We've obviously had a pretty massive, kind of 10 days in the markets. We had the whole yen carry trade kind of destroy the markets for about 6 hours. And now we're basically back to where we were before that. I saw some funny tweets that were talking about how, explain this chart to me, and it showed the Bitcoin chart. And it was basically someone commented and say, this is the fuck your leverage chart. And it's very, very accurate. So what do you guys think is going on in the markets and how are you feeling about it overall?
I don't know. I don't really have conviction either way right now. It was an enjoying ride. I mean, I did a long form post a couple days ago talking about the Bitcoin volatility was not for the weak the last couple weeks, and it's been a hell of a ride. But it was almost like this road to nowhere because right now we're kind of right back where we started, sitting at that 60, 61. I mean, we're up 2,000 points on today's candle while this call's been going on. We've been moving, so that's good. But that 60,000 mark has been a pretty what's the word I'm looking for? I can't think of the word I'm looking for, but it's been a pivot point, and it's been a spot of a lot of price action. So it's just funny that that's kind of where we are again after getting that crazy spike down into the high 40s and everyone getting freaked the hell out. And anyone that was able to grab some down at the low 50s, that worked out quite nice. But yeah, definitely saw a liquidation event for all the leverage longs that were, using high 50s, low 60K as kind of a support area. They definitely liquidated everybody. So I don't know, maybe that's all it was. We see that a lot in crypto, and Bitcoin's recovered, and I don't know, kind of looks like it wants to go up, but I don't know. There's so much going on right now with the economy, and we got a lot of big economic news this week. I know CPI data comes out for the US tomorrow, so that's going to impact the markets and interest rates. And as much as, you know, I want to dream that doesn't impact Bitcoin, it does at the end of the day. Um, you know, the decoupling of Bitcoin, so to speak, that I still believe will happen one day to an extent, um, it really hasn't happened. And I've always said, like, you know, I think the we need to see like a somewhat global recession for the most part until maybe you can see that happen. And in theory, we haven't had one since the creation of Bitcoin. I know some people are talking about, you know, recession-like environment, you know, in the US a little bit. And then obviously I know there's other countries that, you know, are definitely suffering from those. But, you know, I'm talking more of a broader scale, you know, especially you know, the big, large economies all kind of going through one. And maybe that's when we see, you know, Bitcoin become a flight to safety almost and become digital gold. Or maybe we don't, but we're not going to know until it happens. And as of right now, I feel like Bitcoin goes as the, you know, speculative markets go, you know, capital in, capital out.
That's actually a pretty down to earth take. I don't think I can top that.
Ha! Well, occasionally the cat stumbles onto something that sounds good.
Yeah, it actually makes a lot of sense. Like, I have been reading a lot of theories about how we're actually going to go into the big recession, like the decade long recession in 2025, and like this is the last bull run, or the golden bull run before the Great Depression and stuff like that. Uh, but yeah, I honestly have no idea, and I cannot really act accordingly, and I cannot invest accordingly because that's way above my pay grade. I'm just gonna stay allocated to my alt and hope for the best in Q4.
That's all you can really do, right? Control what you can control. And you know, at the end of the day, I ponder how Bitcoin would be affected by, you know, let's just say a recession, because all right, yeah, it could be something that is looked at as a safe haven, so to speak, the way people use, you know, use gold. But that's really for an investor for that's going to hold on to stuff. Like someone that basically just needs money. Like it doesn't matter how much you love your crypto. Like if you need to put food on the table and that's the only money you have, you're going to sell that shit, right? So I do wonder if there's a global liquidity crunch, so to speak. You know, if that is just going to drag down, you know, Bitcoin with everything else. Because at the end of the day, um, you know, you don't need Bitcoin to live, but you need a roof and food. So should be interesting. I'm Instead of having trepidation about that potential scenario, I'm more so going into it with curiosity because, you know, we haven't seen it with Bitcoin being in existence. So I'm really curious to see how it plays out, more so as a thought experiment, I guess, which I think it helps me sleep at night because if I think about it the other way, then I'm just gonna have anxiety, and that is no way to live life. I did that the first 30 years of my life. No fun.
Yeah, wow. I I mean, we'll see. The I think in last Friday before the dump, the Japanese carry trade on Monday. On Friday, I actually moved a lot of my assets to Bitcoin, and then I said, you know what, I'm gonna take a bet, and I put it all into a meme coin, and it actually worked out. I was able to
Damn,
buy
bro.
everything back at 50% discount. So I pretty much doubled all of my bags that were on
I love
Ethereum.
it.
Yeah.
I love it.
But I mean, I could have been wiped out of 80% of my portfolio, but something told me that these Ethereum whales were going to pump this token, and it didn't pump, but it stayed flat during the 50-60% bloodbath
Okay.
that we had. So
That's interesting. That's awesome. I worked out for you. I mean, I gambled on a meme coin, but like very small amount. And I actually had a similar experience, ironically. It ended up pulling back kind of like after the fact, but still like I was in the green on it. I ended up just, banging out of it and being in a better spot. But I just did it as like a small bet. Had I gone aggressive like that, yeah, it would have put me in probably a better position as well. So glad it worked out. And at the same time, that's scary as shit.
Yeah, I didn't sleep in like 3 4 days, but the funny thing is that you take bets, and if they work, you go back and take that capital to your safe bags, so to speak, and then your safe bags keep chopping and bleeding, slowly bleeding, and then you're back at ground zero, and this just comes to prove that it's definitely going to play the way that we were discussing a few weeks ago. Not all of the altcoins are going to pump, and not all of the layer twos and layer ones and all of these AI tokens. Like, it's not going to be a party for everyone this time around. And I just keep getting more convinced about that. Only a handful of selected coins are going to actually go 100x, etc., etc. But I don't think we're going to see the scenario get repeated as in 2018 and just 2022, that everything just went up. I just don't see that happening anymore. So we'll see. In the meantime, I just keep adding to my bags, to my long-term bags, and they keep slowly bleeding against Bitcoin. But seems like it's almost over. So we'll see.
Hope so. Hope so.
Yep. At the
Sweet.
end of the day, this whole time, Cal's just been sitting there in his head saying, "When Leo a dollar."
That is the goal. Leo to $2 is the goal. I keep talking about that. I
Two
think that
dollars, shit.
two
We get to
dollars is
25 cents. I'm gonna try and do a backflip on camera and break my neck.
well,
I
two
mean, if you
dollars
think
two
about it,
dollars will
it's
put us
just
at $100 million fully diluted value for Leo.
Okay. I like it. And
Yeah,
then
and
and
that
then and
is
then what? You sell to Zuckerberg?
no. We keep going from there. We go to 1 billion from there. But the goal for Leo has long been to create $100 million economy. And I think we've really been putting together all these puzzle pieces over time, between threads, between, shorts, the referral system, the UI in general, all the different things we built, the premium value capture model, Leo Dex as a value capture model. We've been putting together all of these, different aspects to, not only scale the users of the platform, but to be able to capture value as that user base increases. So, I'm strong. I'm a firm believer that we've got all the puzzle pieces we need in place, and now it's just a matter of scale. Scaling our monthly active users, scaling our number of premium subscribers. Doing these things in conjunction is what is going to take us to that $100 million valuation. And I think when I look around to other crypto projects that have $100 million valuation, and then you compare them to Leo and what we've done, what we've achieved as a community and as a platform, I get very confident that the $100 million valuation is not far from reality for us. I truly believe that. So, as we continue to refine the platform, and like I said, the real key is getting to scale, getting to 10,000 monthly active users, getting to 1,000 premium, and then scaling up from there. That's going to be key for us.
Yeah, just before we finish up, for people who might think that, oh, doing a 50x is going to be hard for the Leo token, bear in mind that at peak bull market last cycle, Shiba Inu and Doge went to over $100 billion. They were already valued at $1 billion, something like that, and they did 100x. So for INLEO and for Leo Dex to support the Leo token to do a 50 to 100x being a $2 million market cap token, it's more than feasible, it's more than possible, and it's something that the team is actually working a lot to make it happen. So And you saw it happen with the launch of LeoDex and the launch of the token Leo going live on Maya Protocol. We went to almost 20 cents. And it wasn't that hard. It wasn't that huge. That huge amount of capital going into the token. All we need to do is actually, if you see a pump, don't sell the pump. Just let it roll, let it ride, and set your bar higher. And this is not financial advice. This is what I'm doing for myself. I'm setting the bar, I'm setting it higher, because we have this bear market PTSD, where we just see a 20-30% growth, and we say, oh, I'm gonna grab this because I might not get it again or something. And it's, bull markets are not like that. You have to let your coin ride. So, but yeah, I mean, basically, if Shiba Inu went to $100 billion, like, what the hell, we have
Why
to
bet
let
on a
Leo.
dog when why
Go
bet on a
ahead.
dog when you can bet on a lion?
Yeah,
Lion
exactly.
better.
Mic drop out.
Lion better. Yeah, I think the key for us is, like I said, monthly active user growth, revenue growth. At the end of the day, most crypto, tokens are based on really nothing but speculation. And I think where we come in very differently is that we can have that element of speculation, but we've also got, actual revenue statistics. It's it's definitely unusual in the crypto space that you can have actual revenue to point to. So that's been for me, that makes all the difference in the world, because it gives us something stable to fall back onto. The Leo token is one of the few cryptos out there that can have a true floor, because at the end of the day, the revenue is paid to us in dollars. So with, especially when it comes to premium. So if Leo is a fraction of a penny and we're still earning the same amount of money from premium, it's all the better for it. That just means that more Leo is getting bought off the market. So yeah, all we have to do is keep building, keep engaging on the platform, keep building your brand on the platform. Help us. Now that we've got the referral system in place, you have a deeply entrenched incentive as a user to give out your referral code, give out your referral link, and try to onboard people. And by doing that, the scale that we can take our platform to is incredible. So just keep pushing forward is all I have to say. But yeah, I think that pretty much wraps us up. Thanks everybody for coming. Thanks, Eric. Thanks, Mitch. Any closing thoughts?
Pick a lion over a dog.
There you go. I love it.
There we go. All right, guys. We'll see you. Eric, do we have a guest for tomorrow's Chain Chatter?
Yes, I will send you the name.
Oh, I can't hear you.
in
You muted on space.
in a second. Oh, yes, I will send you the name in a second.
Okay, cool. So Chain Chatter tomorrow, noon Eastern. We'll post the reminders probably in the next hour or so. And then yeah, we'll do the marketing call this Thursday. I know we've missed the last couple Thursdays with a lot of other stuff going on, but we'll do the marketing call Thursday. And then Taskmaster's got Lions Den Friday, 1 p.m. Eastern. He's gonna be talking about Leo AI. I'm gonna try to feed him some teaser content that he can share with you guys during his show. So pretty packed week. We will catch you guys tomorrow.